Today, we have Shatz talking about poetry and spirituality. Zach has been writing metaphysics for 40 years. His ideas have come directly from his work in poetics. His talk will focus on insights about spirituality from the process of writing poetry. He has 3 poetry books: Time is a Broken Carafe, Simple Season of the Will, and wordsword.
Wordsword.
Oh, wordsword. That's a mouthful. It could be words word, but it's wordsword. Okay. So now we will hear from Zach. Please welcome our friend.
Breathe. If asked to ply my brush, imagine a painting of a place, any place, it doesn't matter where. The colors, structures, natural or constructed, it feels like you're in the painting, a part of it, but more in it, is what it feels like as part of a painting that's moving at the speed of your breath. Are you there? Thank you all for coming. Poetry is where my heart lives, so I am so happy to share my thoughts with you. Imagination doesn't bring charm to perception, but merely allows us to apprehend more of the charm in our reality. It was there, we didn't make the charm. While we are the charm as well, along with everything else, it's all charm. It's not the content of imagination so much that I want to discuss, a lot of which will never happen. I will never enjoy the company of Scarlett Johansson in real life. I'll just have to settle for the poetry. But I'm interested today in how it works, the images, sounds, and everything available to the imagination. It's like a big block party in the mind. Everything moving together in and out of everything else. The quality of wholeness without boundaries, a living fabric that breathes as one. This is the quantum field in the context of the garden of our mind. And poetry, like painting, sculpting, or music, composes wholeness, even when we're undoing wholeness for creative purposes. There's only ever wholeness, no matter what games we are playing. The poet sees everything as poetry. A toothbrush is poetry. A light bulb, that's got so much poetry in it. An idea, friendship, wow, that has so much poetry in it. I often hear a comment that spiritual experience is in the vibrations first, before the words. To me, that sounds like the words are something separate from the vibrations, that being with words keeps us from being with the vibrations. But the words are vibrating, carrying the vibrations. When we say sugar, that has a vibratory rate. We have an experience when we say or think sugar. Caterpillar has a vibratory rate. I don't write poetry with words, but with archetypes. And I like to think any idea is an archetype. Even the little innocuous words like a and the have meaning. Anything that has meaning in my mind is an archetype. And so when writing poetry or any use of words, we're engaging in archetype architecture, building meaning. I want to say each word refers to and is an energy form. And the whole architectural creation is quivering with meaning. How is this not the fullness of spiritual experience? If we think of musical notes blending as chords, the vibratory rates of the notes come into resonance. The vibratory rates seek each other out, the same way we seek out friends and lovers. And what comes of this is a song that's made every time vibrations come into oneness. Weaving words, whenever we use them, is this living wholeness. Words provide us and each other with jungle gyms in this wholeness. Poetry is deep journeying in spirituality. Of course, silence has wholeness too. The void, when all vibrations become one vibration. Pure peace, the deepness of pure peace. This got me thinking about the yin and yang of consciousness. The yin is the black part of the scheme, receptive, and the yang is the white part, active. The void is the receptive as all vibrations collapse into one. The white, the active, is the brightness coming from the resonance among vibrations, the sparkle. So I want to suggest there are two forms of spiritual richness: the pure peace of the void and the sparkle of pure brightness. Two forms of ultimate spiritual experience. And they're not mutually exclusive. We can hold the void, the still center, and play at the same time. Isn't this what the great mystics achieve? The Dalai Lama or Adyashanti, in pure peace, yet sublimely playful. Isn't this what we all aspire to? Traditionally, spiritual teaching has pursued the yin, the peace of the void, the nothingness, the emptiness that is fullness. Yet is not the beauty of a great painting or musical piece or a story or a poem sublime? This idea of the yin and yang of consciousness, the void and the brightness, has occurred to me in preparing for this talk. I've only just thought of this with you and me together in my creative process. This is what I seem to be doing with my metaphysics, showing a way to that brightness with the prism mind. The difference between the void and the brightness is like a calm sea and a wild sea. Isn't that wild sea a way of being in spirit? Don't words move people to action as well as create sharing? We want a great piece of art, both to take our breath away in silent awe, and to create brightness in thoughts that the art evokes. Feeling deeply and shining radiantly, the two sides of the coin of spiritual realization, neither one could we possibly do without. Magical ordinary. You are the flower smiling wildly, the sun your lover, and stand so hardy, strong stalk, firmly grounded, making your home in the splendorous valley. You aren't so ordinary as you are beautiful. Who would ever call the valley ordinary, though it may be? Who would ever know you and call you that simply? I would call them blind for their lack of wonder. I know you're ordinary like the sky is blue, like the leaf is green, like the flame is red, that you are just a glint in the majesty that is the Lord. Tell me, would God not be less, even alarmed, were you not there in Himmer? I want to take an aside here from the poem and say that I have trouble speaking about God as Him. So I like to combine Him and her and say Himmer, or his and hers as Hisser, and he and she as she with a capital S and a capital H. The world we see was not ready-made, but swept together like a symphony and planted with seeds, so to spread all around faces like yours, voices like yours, twinings. It would be a crime against grace to look but not see, to listen but not hear. To know you is to know my Creator's greatest talents, and magical is she who has gifted you. Tell me you are ordinary, and I will say this now. Turn to me. Do not leave to waste my attention, to savor what is great about pure simplicity.
Nice. Woohoo!
I have these two poems that I shared with you to share with you all. I don't think I have enough copies, so if you're with someone, maybe one copy between you, so we try and have some for everyone. Also, I have some books for sale, 2 books of poetry and the little book of metaphysics. All the money that I get for the books will go to the septic fund.
Thank you.
With the time we have left, which looks like a lot, I'll just do it all again. I'd like to engage with you in archetype architecture. So I'd like you to offer a word that is rich with potential to me. Anyone share a nice word?
Love.
Love, wow, okay. That'll, do we have another couple of hours? Love, okay, that's rich. So love includes everything, right? So no matter what we say, it's gonna work with that word. So I love you all, and I feel your love. And love sustains us. Love is our spiritual food. Love is both the beginning and the end, and everything in between. The reason for discovery, the discovery itself, and the beginning again. Anyone else?
Connection?
Great, connection. Connection implies at least 2 to connect one to another. And so this creates greater wholeness. Each one is a whole unto itself. But when we have connection, this creates greater wholeness, which builds upon itself, wholeness upon wholeness. Ultimately, we are all one. Without connection, we are lost. Without connection, we are alone. But this is delusion. Aloneness doesn't exist. We love sometimes to have solitary, and that is bliss. but in that solitary we still are connected with all. Connection is, I want to say the source, but I should say a source of finding not only the other with whom we are one, but in finding who we are as one with the all. Connection is a bridge, and we can choose wherever we want to go. Anyone else?
Presence.
Presence.
You gotta shout it out, Catherine. Don't be shy back there.
Next time, Catherine, I'll get to you. Kevin says presence. Here we are. In this moment is deeper and deeper and has no end of depth. This moment carries the infinite and the eternal. In this moment, we find ourselves in the all in all. Presence is a blanket, an ocean. Presence is love. Presence is realization. And presence is just silence. Presence is the beating heart. Presence is birth and dying. And I wish for you all the richness of presence. Anyone else?
Okay, well, I was thinking of silence because when you were talking before, I thought the sound of silence would go really well with your talk.
Thank you, Catherine. Catherine says silence. She wants me to sing the sound of silence. I want you all to stay in the room, so I'm not going to do that. But isn't silence the vessel where everything can happen? Silence is the emptiness that is fullness. Silence is the place of listening, the place of breathing, the place of knowing, the place of potential. In silence, we can touch everything.
Grace.
Grace. Grace can have many different meanings as it has many different sources. We can speak of grace in the context of religion, where it is God's blessing. Or we can think of grace more in a, I don't want to say benign, I want to say general sense of just the peace of acceptance. To wish each other grace is a great blessing. To find grace is a special gift. To attain grace, one only needs to be willing to love. Anyone else?
Serenity.
Serenity. I love that. Serenity is even better than solitude. Serenity is taking all things into our being, accepting beyond ourselves, accepting all that surrounds us, which is all things. Serenity is the acceptance of, what's the word that goes with love when there's no differentiation? What love?
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love comes with serenity. Serenity sounds like a song to me. That never ends. So it seems we as imperfect beings move in and out of serenity. We find peace and grace, and then we deal with things that need to be addressed. And we come back to serenity when we're fortunate enough to have a space where things can be put on hold and simply accept what is. Serenity sounds to me like the vibration of presence. Anyone else?
Anger.
Anger? Did she say anger?
We're being all mellow and spiritual about it. Stir it up a little bit.
In my book that I just wrote, I like to say hate is just love having a bad day. And anger is just a wish that love could exist.
Mm-hmm.
Anger is our emotion pleading for love, pleading for understanding, and expressing our true feelings. Who are we? What are we if we are not being honest? Anger is an honesty. We do ourselves the greatest service by being honest with each other. Anger speaks about our truth, hoping to find an ear who will come into oneness with us. So in the end, I can think of anger as a prayer.
Nice.
David? Go.
The word pride.
Pride. Pride is complex. Pride is self-love. Pride, I see very closely linked to ego. And ego is healthy to a degree. Ego manages our lives. Ego is our sense of ourselves as individuals, and we like to feel good about ourselves. But when we take ourselves to be more than simply a participant in the waves of the ocean, we're kidding ourselves. When we take ourselves to be more than simply a participant, we're asking of ourselves to be independent of the universe. Sometimes I like to say, Watch closely. At no time will my fingers leave my hand. We are never separate. We are never unto ourselves, independent of anything, as much as sometimes we want to be or believe we are. So pride is a richness that can turn sour if we become the center of importance. We are a part of importance. And hopefully, we wish each other the fullness of pride that we have for ourselves. Others?
Humor.
Humor? Humor is delicious. Humor is like unwrapping a gift, discovering the magic in every moment. Humor is finding the joy of connection. And that's where humor comes from, is discovering the unexpected connection. And again, I come back to music. Humor sounds to me like the richest song. And we are so lucky when we can share humor, be enjoyed for our humor. Humor comes and goes. We can't sustain humor, which makes it more special and precious. Some of you know I like to tell jokes. I'm tempted, but we'll continue.
Go ahead.
Tell a joke.
Tell a joke? Oh.
Humor.
Well, I'm reminded of the joke about the hot dog vendor and the person who says, "Make me one with everything." That's a good hot dog vendor, someone who can make you one with everything. Anyone else?
Pickles.
Pickles.
Wow.
Rhymes with tickles. Well, let's think about pickles. They start as cucumbers. I want to say, as someone who lived in China for a long time, I found it very mysterious that they pickle cauliflower and carrots and onions. They'll pickle anything except cucumbers. That is a real mystery to me. There's not a jar of pickles in China. I don't know what's going on with that. But let's think about pickles. They're marinated. I don't know if they're fermented. Are pickles fermented? But they're marinated in a brine. And gives them a special flavor. A raw cucumber is fine if you just munch on a raw cucumber. But the special flavor that comes with a pickle, it's salt, which makes me think of connection with the earth. So a pickle gives me a sense of a deepened connection with the earth. Anyone else?
Awe.
Awe. Oh,
That's all, dude.
Oh.
oh. Isn't it interesting? Maybe the etymology of this word comes from like a child going, oh, which tangentially I think of, when we ohm, and that's supposed to be the original sound, ohm. And it occurs to me in my thinking that this sound is the original sound of a child breastfeeding. So thinking about this word awe, amazement, enchantment, and this silent awe that I was speaking of, just being entranced by something so beautiful, magical, mystical, that trying to analyze or understand it in an intellectual way is missing the point. We just want to experience it without mentalizing it. Anyone else?
Mystery?
Mystery. I'm trying to gather a thought about consciousness, and we like to think of consciousness as a mystery, but I have a different opinion. Consciousness is knowing, and mystery is what consciousness tries to grasp, tries to explore. So mystery is the potential, the opportunity. Mystery is that which we can discover. Mystery is the journeying where we continue to come into deeper knowing of ourselves and the all. The more we understand and comprehend and discover the all, the more we understand ourselves. The more we understand and discover ourselves, the more we understand the all. So the mystery is the blessed journey where discovery leads us to ourselves.
Don't we have one on Zoom up there?
Zoom, anyone on Zoom want to share a word?
Oh, we have someone raising their hand.
Okay,
Go ahead, you can unmute, Jakob. He raised his hand, but he's not unmuting. You want to say something, Sandra?
How about kindness?
Kindness.
kindness.
Thank you.
Kindness is giving more of ourselves than is expected or needed, right? It's extra. So it's the icing on the cake. Kindness is a gift. We can get along in life just by fulfilling our responsibilities and keeping everything in order. But kindness, like humor, is that magic where we find from the connection, the energy that comes out is free and available for us to share with each other. That energy is always free and available for us to share with each other. Kindness is an ever-present opportunity. And let us not forget to be kind to ourselves. Kindness is an offering for God to say, please join me in loving all. Well, thank you for your participation today. All of those words apply here today.
Bravo, well done, that.